bien le bonsoir. Les nocturnes. Spectateurs présents et futurs. Envie de game. De retour du boulot. Envie de game un peu sur Avowed. Avowed. Fait du bien d'être enfin posé. C'est bon, j'ai de quoi boire. Je suis bien installé. Tout est ok, c'est parti. Continue. On va essayer de progresser un peu sur la quête principale. Et une petite mise à jour avant de lancer le jeu. J'espère que ce petit défaut de ce soit résolu. Ah, ça sent la fin. Et non. Oh. Ok. Alors, monsieur l'ambassadeur, qu'est-ce que vous avez à me dire? Pêcheur? Ah oui, c'est vrai que Guéric, il est là. Ah, et on avait l'autre, le puits d'informations, là. Oh. Est-ce qu'on lui demande un peu d'infos sur ce qui se passe? Prendre un peu de lore.
Glad to see you. How can I help? There's a lot of ground to cover. Could you be more... Ah, the age-old question. Who's bigger? Adir is, naturally, by a wide margin. And were we at the Cartographer's Guild in High Crown, I could show you on one of their globes. As it is, we must make do in the theater of our minds. The Living Lands are located in the far north of Aora. Adir is southwest of the Living Lands, situated along the equator. The Living Lands are more arid than Adir, and the island is more prone to storms. But its many deep valleys protect the various townships from the worst of the weather. Topographically speaking, the Living Lands are a place of extremes. Deep inland, mountains rise high enough to rival those of the White March, blanketed year-round in snow. While east of the volcano of Mount Forja is an acid sea that sinks far below the level of the ocean. The lands between them are riven with deep clefts in the earth and isolated by wastelands of sun-baked sand dunes. I'll share what I can.
Qui est-il pouvoir?
There is no singular authority in the living lands.
Not yet, anyway.
I shudder to think what the living lands would look like under your rule.
Well, to start, there'd be a lot more brothels.
Charming. Power is invested in the leaders of the various townships scattered across the island. The largest are Fjord, Thirdborn, and Solace. None of which, I will note, are as safe and orderly as Paradise. Fjord Messeverno is located in a valley known locally as the Emerald Stair, named for the terraced rice paddies that cover its hillsides. It is our closest neighbor. The city, if you can call it that, was founded 50 years ago by animancers from the Valian Republics. Apparently, the laws governing animancy weren't lenient enough in the Republics. So the city's founders came to the Living Lands, where they could practice their discipline more freely. Currently, Fjord is governed by a man named Ignacy Vidaro. Rather inept to hear the ambassador talk about him. Fjord's farmers supply most of the grain and vegetables we eat here in Paradise. Or it did. Their shipments have been infrequent lately. Something about a blight in the fields. In any event, I believe that covers Fjord.
Donc des agriculteurs magiciens qui font un peu ce qu'ils veulent, ouais, ok.
The Valian Republics are a collection of city-states in the Eastern Reach, southeast of our former colony, the Deerwood. The Republics began life as colonies of the Grand Empire of Valia, hence the name. But as Grand Valia's economy collapsed, well, the colony saw an opportunity to escape the influence of the Empire of Origin, and they seceded, much as the Deerwood did from Adir. Now a mature confederation in their own right, the Republics have recently indulged their own expansionist ambitions in the Deadfire Archipelago. Through their merchants in the Valian Trading Company, the Republics will sell you anything you could ever wish to buy.
Up to and including people.
Ah,
We
des
should count
esclavagistes.
ourselves lucky they've had no interest in the living lands. In a struggle between our Emperor and the Republic's great dukes, well, I doubt we would come out
Ah
on
oui, ils
top.
sont donc
But if
puissants.
anyone asks, I was not the one who told you that.
Oui, ok.
Everything you need to know about Thirdborn is in its name. It was founded by the Thirdborn children of Rawatai, Navy dropouts, smugglers, and hands for hire. Almawa and Orleans, mostly.
Home, sweet home.
Ouais.
You're
Ok.
free to go back any time you like.
I like my current circumstances just fine, thanks.
They are people, in short, who couldn't cut it in the civilized world and had to make room on the margins. Unfortunately, they are currently besieged by the Dream Scourge. We
Okay.
have sent some troops to lend what help we can, and the mayor, Temerity, was appropriately grateful, but I don't know how long they'll hold out. Rawatai is one of the old empires, every bit as storied as Grand Valia or our native Adir. If Adir is to the southwest of the Living Lands, Rawatai is to the southeast. And unlike our home, their small continent is racked by terrible storms.
Ok.
This is due, or rather, was due, to the island's proximity to Andra's mortar, the unending super hurricane that once hid the ancient city of Ukaizo. Rawatai is largely peopled by Almawa, descended from those who fled the Deadfire Archipelago centuries ago, when Andra pulled the moon, Ioni Brather, into the sea. They are an aggressive, militant culture, and personally, I find their obsession with gunpowder rather quaint. They are also our chief rivals on the world stage.
I don't think they see it that way.
No?
Well, as far as Navy brass is concerned, Adir doesn't really
Ah oui, ok.
rate.
Now you're just making things up.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but
Solace is Ah, what is there to say, really?
Yeah, they tend to have that effect on people.
The trouble is, I don't know much about Solace. Nobody does. They are an isolationist community of Pargrunan dwarves who live in the forbidding ways of Galawain's tusks. They don't let outsiders into their lands, and they don't let their people out of them.
Ok.
Some folks get out from time to time, but they can't ever go back. And the ones who survive aren't eager to talk about their experiences.
People aside, the land itself is incredibly hostile. The island's volcano, Mount Forja, rests at the heart of the region, and it's recently become active. Half the land is lava rock, and the other half is, well, literally lava. I don't know why anyone lives there. I have to assume they're all insane.
You have no idea.
Ok.
Naturally. The Pargrunan are a unique community of mountain dwarves originating in
Sommes les
Old
nains de
Faerû.
la montagne.
As a people, they've made their name as explorers, builders, miners. No doubt you've seen their ruins in your travels, here, back home in Adir, and all across the world. They maintain a rich tradition of oral storytelling, chanted magics, and ritual carving, which they take great pains to record and transmit across their various
Ce jour,
communities.
on boit la
Even the
nuit.
most physically isolated Pargrun is not alone. Somewhere, one of their people is thinking of them and planning an expedition. Abidan must cherish them.
You sound like you admire them.
I suppose I do. By all means. Consider yourself lucky. Inquisitor Ludwine is the commander of the Steel Garrote in Paradise. Were you to ask her, she'd say she keeps the peace. But she doesn't keep it so much as prosecute it. As ruthlessly as the ambassador will let her. She's also a veteran of the Steel Garrote's campaign in the Deadfire, where she died.
She's a Death Guard. Well, that explains a lot.
I don't know what happened to her there, but I suppose Wodika wasn't done with her yet. I only met her once. She was a mid-level member of the Steel Garrote then, chasing Oathbreakers who'd fled Adiran law. She'd come back to the Imperial Archives to borrow a map to a place called Oathbinder's Sanctum. I remember she was furious because the map was quite poor. She worried about finding the place, about properly executing her duty to her god. She wanted, I think, to do a good job. So, while clearly she has changed, in some sense, I'd say she's much the same. Death Guards are surpassingly rare. Some of the secretaries who traveled with our dignitaries in the Deadfire spoke of one named Iser, a devotee of Berith, who guards the hanging sepulchres there. But I've heard of no others except those I've read about in the histories, or, as you say, in stories. They are people, most often paladins or priests, so devoted to a cause that they simply refuse to pass on to the wheel when they die. Their soul haunts their body. The passion required to sustain them devours their flesh, and they swiftly turn to bone.
Ah d'accord,
I've
c'est
never read a
squelette.
history nor tale of a death guard that did not end with them going quite mad. When they lose their capacity to care for anything but their cause, they cannot love. And when they cannot love, they cannot be merciful. And so everything before them becomes only an obstacle.
Vachement intéressant.
Think upon your promises and die. That's the litany of the Steel Garrote, usually said right before they kill you. They're an order of paladins born and bred in Adir, though clearly they've found plenty of work beyond our borders. Their remit is simple but comprehensive. They punish all who break their oaths. In practice, that has historically meant contracts. One lord or merchant will hire the Steel Garrote to bring a duplicitous rival to justice.
Fun bunch. What are they doing in Paradise?
Since the events in the Deadfire, their operations have expanded. The Steel Garrote has always been associated with Wodaka. Now, they are explicitly her order. And they go wherever Wodaka's priests, or Wodaka herself, believes there is a need for them to go. The Living Lands are a dangerous, lawless frontier in sore need of order. Thus, they are here. Or so the Steel Garrote say.
Ok.
Do you think so? I've always found her inflexibility comforting. Wodaka's edicts are clear. If you obey her laws, pursue justice, punish the guilty, and give fealty to the Emperor, then you have pleased her, and I aim to please. But Wodaka does not trust. She demands that you declare yourself for her again and again. Her every request is a test, and her every test is an opportunity to disappoint her. I appreciate a god who makes you work for their grace. I don't want anything given to me for free.
Ok.
I'm an open book.
C'est clair.
Oh, I hope it wasn't that charlatan in Hightown. She's an absolute menace. That the militia puts up with her is a testament to how unfit they are to run this city. Right. Not what you asked. Anyway, Watchers are individuals capable of perceiving souls. The soul may be in a living body, or it may simply be lingering, waiting to pass into the in-between. In either case, interacting with a soul allows a Watcher to glimpse a person's past lives or their most deeply buried memories. Watchers are incredibly rare, and in Adir, highly controlled. Many people wish to know who they were in a previous life, and do not like what they learn. The smart ones stay hidden. They do not announce their powers, perhaps not even to themselves. Even a careful Watcher risks inadvertently revealing themselves by knowing something they shouldn't know. Of the ones that are public, little is concretely known. But we hear things. They make good judges in Wodaka's courts, so long as they're controlled. The lords, it's rumored, buy and sell them to collect blackmail on their enemies. But I suspect many Watchers are imprisoned or executed, or simply kill themselves.
Sympa.
A Watcher doesn't need your cooperation or consent to read your soul. They could learn everything about you, terribly damaging things about your parentage, for example, or things you did in a past life, without you ever know. You see how this could threaten the established order, undermine our...
Yeah, but that's just one side to it. Imagine how a Watcher feels, knowing what a threat they are to the status quo. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be keen on kings and emperors wanting me dead. Sounds like a lot of hassle.
Don't sell yourself short, Kai. I don't doubt you're an expert in people wanting you dead.
You're not wrong.
I rarely am. In any case, the Watcher is fundamentally a tragic figure. Of the few that survive our world, most are destined to go mad. Yes and no. So far as I understand it, a Watcher is born a Watcher. But it takes an event, often something shocking or traumatic, to bring a Watcher's powers to the fore. So you may be a Watcher, or I may be, or Kai, and we might not even know. Well, the Watcher of Cadnua is legendary. It was their castle Aethys destroyed when he began his campaign of terror in the Dead Fire. Oh, by the Queen, I hope I get to meet them someday. In terms of local interest, you'll have heard of Runid, of course. And there was Ida. You may not know about her. She was a Watcher from the Living Lands. I believe she was an Orlan. She must have died, 150 years ago. Slain by a great serpent, gods treat kindly with her soul. Doubtless there are others, but... most don't meet a good end. I don't think so.
The Envoy is right. You're basically a Watcher encyclopedia.
Why should a secretary be limited to knowledge of filing systems and how the ambassador takes his tea? I was a boy once. Watchers were a special interest of mine when I was young.
He sounds defensive to me. Does he sound defensive to you, Envoy?
I am not a watcher.
Exactly what a watcher would say.
Both of you, please, your fun puts me at tremendous risk. This isn't a subject the Inquisitor takes lightly.
All right, all right. I know you're not a watcher, Teach. You'd be better at dice.
Apology accepted. Of course. Well, you'll notice I'm nearly always here. If that man sleeps, I don't know about. He wouldn't say, but I believe he relied on the Claviger far more than he lets on. And without the Claviger's steady hand at the rudder, the ambassador's struggling just to bail water from the sinking ship that is Paradise.
Claviger Amon might have tolerated a little more chaos than the ambassador liked, but he kept this place humming. He's not someone you can easily replace, and not with one man alone.
It's a difficult job. The pressure sometimes gets the better of him. But if he loses his temper now and then, I can't blame him for it. Better him than me. He doesn't know what to do with himself. You know, in our first days here, he'd often walk to the end of the docks at sunrise. The work was done, the embassy was closed, and he'd still be wearing the same clothes he'd slept in at his desk. And he'd just stare out over the sea. He always seemed dissatisfied back then. I suppose, years later, he still does. Be serious. Most of us here didn't get sent to the frontier because we were anybody's favorite. The longer I'm here, the more likely the people who matter are to forget me. And I'd actually like to get back to High Crown someday. Get married, have a few kids, take the civil exams, and settle into a...
I guess there are worse ways to spend a life.
like rotting in this embassy. By all means. Safe travels, envoy.
Ok, c'était vachement intéressant. On a appris plein de choses sur le lore.
Envoy, is it really you?
Oui, mais on s'est déjà rencontrés.
I can't believe you're alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel? Not even death can slow you down, I see. But we'll return to the topic of your untimely demise shortly. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. You said you had a missive for me from the Emperor? Very good. I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire, and an extent... Thank goodness. At least someone understands the gravity of our situation. Here's something to tide you over, but your work isn't finished just yet. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think no sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles. Well, not to mention your abrupt and untimely death. This embassy has no shortage of political foes, but the dream scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities. Thank you, Envoy. The island is in capable hands. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire.
Ouais, Ouais, plutôt ça.
Your instincts do you credit. They were paradisans once, law-abiding laborers. Now, they're fugitives and oath-breakers. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked. Something about a labor dispute gone wrong, I think.
A lot of disputes arise because people here have a strong aversion.
I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, but defend it, we must. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life. These Paradisan rebels must face justice. Ludwig goes where she likes, haunting the living lands like a vengeful spirit. Let's make sure to give her some good news.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarok, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the rough part of town. Even by the standards of Paradis. Marius is from the Tusks, about the harshest and remotest place the gods ever created, even by the
Trickery, lies. The gods did not build this place.
Let's just say no one survives out there without picking up a few skills. The kind we'll need if we're going to find hiddenness, especially if they're from...
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you... Oh, before you go, we received a report from Liviana about your condition. Apparently, once your killer has been dealt with, you can come and go as you please. Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. Oh, I wish I could see the killer's face when they realize the hunter has become the hunted. We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return.
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Ballarok? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.
D'accord. D'accord. Pourquoi il y a un ennemi derrière, là? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a derrière ce bâtiment?
Wouldn't want their diplomats going hungry or sober.
Je voulais pas fermer la porte, je voulais parler à lui. D'accord.
So, you're the one they all crow about, eh? Best hunter and guide in all of Dawn. Ha! The mighty Marius, deep in his cups, ready to take on the deadliest prey, providing they're asleep at the time.
Right. Take another sip of my cool. Rude not to finish a drink someone bought for you.
No wonder you're hiding behind a mug. You're too worried about being polite to survive out there.
The dwarf there is Marius. Best tracker I know. Just watch. This'll be good.
I heard you're from Solace Keep. How great a survivor could you be, hiding behind stone walls all your life?
You don't know anything about me, you Adira Nimdut. So maybe go back and take another blessed day sip.
But here you are. Tell me, how does one get kicked out of a place that never lets anyone leave?
Duktek Dragu Sakasapt Jitule. You wanna talk so much, I'll cut you a second mouth across your throat.
Marius can handle himself. Of course, if you're bored, we could always start something anyway.
Ouais, on va éviter de...
Ready to crack some heads.
You stay out of it, Envoy. This isn't your problem. I haven't stopped an Imperial official since I left Adir. I guess it's about time I do another one.
T'es pas prêt, mec.
Come on, Meili. Let's show these people why you don't pick fights in the Ballarok.
Mais il est fou. Abruti, va. Ah, parce qu'il y en a d'autres en plus. Ok. Désolé, hein. Mais... Oh. Attends, laisse-moi lui mettre une balle dans la bouche, voilà. Bon. Sympa cette petite épée.
Thanks, Marius. More blood to clean.
Come on, Marcool. You know you.
We got ready for more.
Pourquoi je vois un objet là-bas? Ok, c'est pas grave.
Well, that was something. Haven't been to bar fight in a while. Never really saw the point.
Marius, this is the infamous Adiran envoy. Envoy? Marius.
Well, any friend of Kai's is definitely a... person. You know your poisons. It was a test. That guy's such a nim dude, he thought he was doomed. And he actually believed I could pay the bartender to poison someone's drink. Gods, the taverns in Adir must be rough. Smart. The effects are more widely known. Let their imagination run wild on them. Noted. If I'm not mistaken, you're looking for someone to help find the people who killed you. I need to see the scene of the crime, over by the town gates. I promise there's something left there we can use to track them. Bloodstains, footprints, darts left behind. If we find anything at all, we can find your assassins. We'll figure this out, Amakul. Don't you worry.
Nouveau compagnon. Réputé meilleur chasseur et guide inégalé des étendues sauvages et des terres vivantes. Marius a vécu un peu partout sur l'île frontalière, sans avoir de véritable foyer. Marius utilise d'anciennes techniques de survie et de furtivité par Grunen, afin de surprendre ses ennemis, les piéger dans les lianes ou disparaître pour leur tendre une embuscade silencieuse. Laissant toujours aux aguets, il peut détecter les menaces et les objets disséminés dans les terres vivantes. Ah, l'instinct de chasseur, c'est pas mal. On peut avoir un mec à la fois.
Nothing like the smell.
People seem more agitated than usual.
Here, by the graffiti. You can reach the roofs from here. Over here. Look. Smells familiar, but I can't place it. Whatever it is, it's not used for game hunting or keeping beat. You already met the apothecary. I'd suggest we pay him another visit.
Seems like a good place to start.
It tells us they were hunting you. Whoever did this takes pride in their work. Go back to the market and up the stairs to the east. You'll see a large building with a big window on top.
The Mermaid's Den. Nice place. We should say hello to Juliana while we're there.
The apothecary is in the back alley. Any luck? We could track down who made this poison. Find your killers.
Non. J'ai pris Chéros. Pas par là.
there. That's the apothecary.
All you have is not enough.
I'm telling you, there's no coin left. Business has been slow.
Fine, we'll make a deal. I can break your arms, or I can break your legs. Huh. Aren't you the outlander who died in the streets? How are you... Gah, it doesn't matter.
You've got to help. He's gonna hurt me again.
Everyone take a deep breath. No one is hurting anyone else today. Right?
You seem to like beating up on little guys. Want to take a run at me?
Listen to me, dead man. What happens here does not concern you. Walk away. Or what? You'll die on me?
Have to admit, that's a good one.
This is getting tiresome. I wasn't really gonna hurt the apothecary, but I'm really, really gonna hurt you. You should have thought of that before sticking your nose in my business. Stand still, Outlander. This is gonna hurt.
Get him! Show me what you got!
Get him, boys!
There you are, swine. This time, you're gonna stay dead.
Just when I thought this would...
Ah bah tiens. Ça t'occupe le gros. Ah, j'ai pas le temps de gemme. Il y en a un autre qui me tape quoi. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bail? Ah oui, c'est le petit câlin là. Tiens, une petite balouche dans le cul là. Ok, je suis coincé.
I can't believe they're dead. It's over.
I think I sprained my shoulder.
Ben voilà, les éperviers. Ça dégage.
Envoy, thank you for dealing with those miscreants. There's a plague on...
A gang of bullies shaking down honest folk? Seems more like the cause.
It's no more dangerous here than anywhere else. It's just that monsters here have knives instead of fangs.
You didn't kill Thala, the biggest, baddest of them all. The Sparrowhawks are gonna come after you.
Je les emmerde.
They don't. That's the problem. You don't have to come to my defense. No one sticks their neck out for anyone in these parts. Poison? Let me take a look. Wait, I recognize that from my wares. It's oil distilled from Santa Torre, a berry native to the Living Lands.
Just that it's supposed to act quickly, and that you shouldn't mess with it if you don't know what you're doing.
So don't, under any circumstances, mix it up with moonberries.
And before you ask, I can't tell you who bought the poison.
Comment ça?
If word got around that I was ratting my clients out to the Adherents, it'd be the end of me. I hate carrying a debt. Just don't tell anyone you learned it from me. The truth is, I never saw the customer's face. They wore a hood. A monk's cowl, I believe. But I can tell you that Saint Ettore is used in religious rituals. Prophets and seers will do anything to leave their bodies. I have nothing to hide. Not anymore. Just talking to you has put me at odds with Paradis. I have no wish to be at odds with Adir as well.
If you want mystic types, you want to go visit the Temple of Andra. Probably the only reason you'd want to go there.
On the other hand, Claviger Amond was cozy with plenty of mystics and oddballs. We could check out his estate for clues.
Go past the Hightown Gate to the north, then follow the road eastward until you reach the statue of Andra. Look, most Paradisans don't like the adherents. We've been here for generations, and we knew how to handle our own. Adir changed that, and not for the better. Some of us have been more wronged by Adir than others. Well, wronged by the Steel Garrote. They're a minority of Paradisans, but they're willing to kill to strike back at Adir, even at an Imperial envoy.
You got a deer in order in our chaos. Some people don't like being forced to follow a new set of rules.
I hope that I've been able to assist you in some small way. Good luck in your investigation, Envoy.
So we're going to the temple to find a mystic to ask about the poison. Not what I imagine my day would be like.
Bon, du coup, on va se débarrasser des éperviers, hein. Dans le quartier. Salut les gars. Ouf.
Good fight.
Bah voilà.
Local militias lacks at the best of times, which these are not.
De toute façon, je les aimais pas. Ils m'avaient menacé direct d'entrée de jeu quand je suis arrivé. Voilà, ils ont pris le tarif. Je les avais prévenus de pas me menacer. A et B, c'est là-bas. Pas où je dois passer. J'entends le bruit d'un objet ici.
Seems like you want to keep stuff like that in a warehouse.
Oh! La belle boîte.
charm, I'm sure. Hey, Envoy. Nice weather for waiting around, huh? I can't believe he told you he'd never touched a girl. I'd rather have died. Which isn't to say I haven't touched a girl. I have. Lots of girls. What the... Anyway. Haha.
Ouais.
We'll just see you.
Clients always want curtains. They never want to scrub the mildew.
D'accord. Par où on passe pour aller dans cette zone-là? Puisse-t-y voir la carte? Ils veulent que j'aille dans un paradis nord. Faut que je repasse par là. Oh tiens. Au revoir. Ah, Marius, il a des points. C'est pratique le renseignement, ouais. Oh, plusieurs ennemis en même temps. Oui, le saignement, allez. C'est d'accord.
Ah, the Emperor's envoy. I'm glad to see His Majesty is sending more
Comment il te regarde?
untamed land. I am Alfir, a captain in the Steel Garrote under Inquisitor Ludwig. How else should one take one's rank, envoy? This sergeant of the Paradise Militia refuses to discipline his people about lingering near our headquarters. A less charitable woman might suppose that their loitering is intended to aggravate us.
Be reasonable. My militia need to pass this way to go to and from the East Gate. What are they supposed to do? Walk all the way down to the market entrance just to make you feel better? Look, none of us are professional soldiers. We're militia. We all have other jobs to get back to. Of course, we'll stop to have a drink and a laugh with our friends on our way to and from the gate. If the Steel Garrote want to look down their noses at us for our lack of discipline, that's fine. Just stop complaining that we don't take everything as seriously as you joyless lot.
See? This is what I'm talking about. Antagonism, plain and simple. Very well, Envoy. Though it would be easier to do my job if there were fewer distractions.
I suppose you'll have to rely on that famous Adiran discipline then. Many thanks, Envoy.
Voilà, moi je calme les tensions. Quoi, vous avez pris votre 3e dose de vaccin contre le Covid ou quoi? Qu'est-ce qui vous arrive?
Andra, protect my husband on his journey back to Adir. Please, bring him safely back to me. Keep the water safe. Or, if he should perish, bring him to these shores in his next life.
Please be respectful in the presence of the Queen.
Oula. Oh, la boîte! Au secours. Un petit sac là, j'ai vu. J'ai vu que... Oh non! Voilà, on pouvait rentrer ici. Attends, majordome. Reviens là, reviens là.
True what they say? That the Inquisitor is some kind of monster?
Pourquoi il a fui comme ça, lui?
This is a dangerous town, but you know how it goes. Hype, is it true what they say? That the Inquisitor is some kind of monster?
C'est bizarre ce qu'il vient de me faire, lui. En tout cas, ouais, tout le monde est dead.
Well, that didn't take long.
Stop right there. You're gonna regret this.
Oui, oui. Oh. Je sais pas viser, c'est horrible. Ouh. Attends. Voilà. Et bah adieu. Did you?
Once I got drunk and Moss back here looking for the chamber pot. Aiming through the best parties.
Rédia a gentiment proposé la création d'une ambassade à paradis. Pas gentiment, j'entends que les Aedrans sont débarqués sur nos côtes Soprevi et par proposer, j'entends que leurs soldats se sont installés dans un bâtiment en ville. Faut suivre attentivement l'évolution de cette situation. Le clavitaire avait pas l'air chaud de ce qui se passe. Du lore, mais beaucoup trop de lore. Ambassadeur Elgan assure qu'il souhaite seulement une relation diplomatique avec les terres vivantes. Quant à l'acquisitrice Lordwin, elle veut une potence, des exécutions publiques et des interrogatoires secrets. Je ne sais pas quoi penser de nos nouveaux hôtes. C'est un jour, je me sens comme un étranger dans ma propre ville.
I'm starting to see why Eamon was going gray all of a sudden.
Ouais, je peux crocheter, donc c'est ok. Peu importe que je trouve la clé ou non. Surtout que la clé est là, ok. Super. J'aurais pu passer par derrière et économiser des crochets. Comme qu'il y a une rébellion croissante au paradis, mon propre peuple défie les Ediran. Ils sortent de l'ombre et aiguisent leur lame au nom de l'indépendance. C'est bien, ici mes enseignements. Je ne peux pas les soutenir ouvertement, mais j'ai d'autres moyens de m'y prendre. J'ai fait passer une clé de notre citerne le long d'une chaîne de commis et d'agents. La porte est dans le temple d'Ondra. Un sanctuaire des plus appropriés, puisse-t-il utiliser cette cachette à leur avantage. Je vais garder l'autre clé. Un moment viendra peut-être où je devrais avertir la résistance ou la rejoindre moi-même.
Well, there you have it. So, Claviger Aemon not only knew about the rebels, he also gave them access to a hideout in the cistern. None. I knew he was protective of Paradis, but I never would have dreamed he'd get in bed with organized rebels. Look, everyone who settles in the Living Lands comes from somewhere, but until recently, those settlers have been people, not nations. But when Adir built an embassy and filled it with dignitaries and troops, some started to worry that your laws and governors would follow.
Right, all of that. Don't forget why we're here. You hired me to hunt the rebels down, and now we know where they are. A cistern beneath the Temple of Andra. Good place for a hidden base. It sits just below the city, where the people and patrols will never look.
Maybe we should bring reinforcements. I bet Heelguard would be happy to spare some of his guards, if we ask nicely.
They'd only slow us down. Besides, any fighting we do in the cistern will be close quarters.
On to the Temple of Andra, then. It's east of here, just across the canal, in the plaza with the big statue.
Right. After you.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce pendentif? Réanime un compagnon, restaure 50% de votre santé. Ok.
The housekeeping isn't what it used to be.
Selon Ilga, il est dans notre intérêt de chasser les animes anciens de paradis. La science de l'âme offense les dieux, et ainsi de suite. Il promet la sécurité, la stabilité et la loi en échange de cette mesure. Parce que j'ai rendu visite aux animes anciens et chargé déjà leur matériel dans les chariots à destination des fermiers hivernaux. Je me demande ce qu'ils savent et que j'ignore. Ces rats privilégiés qui quittent un navire en perdition. Mais donc ça c'est le passage que je voulais examiner juste après. Parfait.
Shame a perfectly good house has to sit around empty.
Smell that salty air.
Home.
Home sweet home.
But we're still waiting to decide on a new claviger.
Il a pas l'air si choqué que ça, hein. Les gens, c'est des cradingues dans ce quartier en tout cas.
Fresh from the finest distillery.
Wouldn't think assassins would be hiding out in a temple, but what do I know?
Hail and well met. The Temple of Andra is open to all. Oh, you must be the Adiran envoy. How one... I take it you're here on... Killed you? Oh, you must... People say they're outlaws blending in with honest citizens. Killers and... But why... Wait... Shit. Let me guess. He wrote it all down? The Claviger was far too trusting. Probably what got him killed. All right. If you're willing to listen, then I'm willing to talk.
Okay.
Finally, some progress.
Yes, I'm with the Resistance. We have a responsibility to defy your empire, to protect our way of life. For some of us, that means hiding in plain sight, passing messages between contacts, playing a role. For others, it's kill or be killed. Ask me anything you like, but be warned. You aren't ready for the answers.
Que veut la résistance?
To be left alone. Paradis was fine without Adir. Your empire inserted itself where there was no need. You've impoverished us,
turned my brothers and sisters into beggars, squatting outside our own city walls. Eagwolf, a powerful man, but not in the way Adir understands power. When he knocks an arrow, the gods hold their breath. If you think you can reason with him, don't bother. You have nothing he wants. None of them are the Emperor's plaything. You must be special, and not in a good way. I have nothing more to say to you. If you're so eager to die again, the one you want is downstairs in the cistern, no doubt sharpening his blade. The door is on the wall to your left. Work for you? What an outrageous idea. Wait, did you say a full pardon? All past deeds forgiven.
Sure. Hire the local rebel to spy for Adir. Can't foresee anything bad coming from that.
Either way, you found us. So maybe it is better to be a traitor than a corpse. This is madness. You have no reason to trust me. What choice do I have? I was wrong to underestimate you. You're as deceitful as they say. But
Allez!
I'll take the job.
Je sais pas où mes choix vont me mener, mais... Bizarre, l'émissaire. Hein.
Take the door into the cistern. Your killer awaits you.
Salut. Notre agente a été prise aujourd'hui en flagrant délit de contrebande dans la ville. Cette saleté d'émissaire d'Aedir a prêté main forte au garde incompétent qui était chargé de l'inspection. Sans l'intervention du Dévin, je suis sûr que notre contact aurait réussi à entrer dans la ville sans encombre et d'être enfermé dans une cellule à l'heure qu'il est. J'espère seulement que le sort qui l'attend ne sera pas trop sévère. Ah oui, la nana avec ses grenades. Et effectivement, oui. Je me souviens de ça. Bah écoute. Elle avait qu'à mieux cacher ses grenades. Alors comme ça, il y a un assassin qui veut me la mettre.
Stale air, thick darkness, and a smell that peels your eyes back. Reminds me of home.
No, I just skipped a bath.
Elle cradingue. Un vrai gamer. Oh là là, c'est tellement stylé. J'adore les environnements de ce jeu. Je trouve ça tellement bien soigné, bien travaillé. Les lumières, tout, ouais, c'est vraiment... Vraiment très stylé.
They don't look friendly.
Il n'y a pas un moyen de passer hein, par ici.
Quiet as the depths.
Oh, ça dure pas longtemps. Merde. Salut.
These people aren't trained assassins. They're just regular people with weapons.
You're trying to kill us. What else do you need to know?
Journal Découverte a été écrit récemment puis arraché de sa reliure. Qu'ai-je fait? J'ai commis une terrible erreur. Soit la prophétie était fausse, soit je l'ai mal interprétée. Quoi qu'il en soit, je suis damné. Je dois cacher ce journal, dispersé dans les égouts, là où même les dieux ne trouveront pas la preuve de ma culpabilité. Pardonne-moi, Gildark. Oh, on peut s'arranger. Je sais pas pourquoi tu m'as mis une flèche dans le bide, mais on peut devenir copain, ça me dérange pas. Juste que tu sois convaincant, quoi. Et attention, reculez. Ah, je suis vraiment une buse. Voilà. Clé de la citerne inférieure. Je peux pas la crocheter.
Watch out. Pressure plates on the floor.
Plaques de pression. Ah oui, ça c'est des plaques de pression. D'accord. Oh mais il y en a partout.
That should disable the pressure plates.
Effectivement. La grosse bébête dégueulasse. Ah.
If you want help burning through that, just say the word.
T'inquiète, maintenant j'ai une épée qui brûle, moi, tout va bien. Oh, les tisseuses. Babylone.
Everyone okay?
Oui, tout va bien. Jusqu'ici, tout va bien. Oh. Comment on atteint cette zone? Avec une petite grue? Ça! Non.
You know what that web means. Be ready.
More blessed day spiders. Fight to
Brûler les œufs. Je sais pas si c'est un réel intérêt de faire ça. Elle est solide celle-là. Bouche enchevêtrée. Oh. Ouais. Oh. Je meurs. Comme toi.
What about these spiders? Are they threatening enough for you?
The spiders are just trying to survive. Maybe these people are too.
Gods, not this saga again.
I sense a Marius lecture coming.
Je brûle les œufs, moi, rien à foutre. Ah, le truc qui était derrière la porte. Ça, je prends. Ok. Continuons. Comment il veut que je monte là? Ah, je sais. J'oublie que je peux faire ça. C'est pas profond ici. C'est pareil, il va falloir utiliser la magica.
That key opens the big double doors we saw on the way here.
Et du coup ça me fait repasser sur la zone en hauteur qu'on a vue au tout début.
Remember that time in Emerald Stair? You let that thief take all our supplies.
He was starving. I wasn't gonna kill a man over a few rations.
We needed our supplies. We almost died without them.
True.
You let your heart get in the way of your survival.
When did you become a poet?
Just blessed day now. Like it?
Still needs work.
Worth and Roth!
Oh damn. Qu'est-ce que c'est que toutes ces zones en hauteur là?
Why would you waste time building a deadly trap when a simple no-entry sign would suffice?
Some people have way too much time on their hands.
Over there, 11. Probably disables the blades. Well, what good it does from here.
Found you.
Right behind you.
Calme-toi, toi, Gregor. Oh! Ok, il me dégomme. Il est où? Mais... Arrête, arrête!
You're still mad about that thief, but we made it back to town, even without our supplies.
Not the blessed 8 point. You see a threat, you stop that threat. You don't give it your rations.
You think everyone's out to get you. This is why you don't have more friends.
Eyes open.
Mind you not to spook you.
Unseen, unheard.
Très efficace l'attaque furtive là. Y'a rien de plus. Ok.
So, would you have killed that thief for taking our stuff?
Shh, Nimdude. Someone's up ahead.
Attends. Il y a grave moyen de... Attends, non, là je vais me faire baiser. Je sais pas moyen de passer, à mon avis ça fait le tour comme ça. Ouais. À tous les coups ça fait le tour. Merde. Dommage.
I would have sent that thief on his way, without our blessed day supplies. Then he would have died. How do you know? We didn't. Quiet, Nimdut.
Vous avez obtenu le Seigneur et les dieux sont venus à son secours. Qu'est-ce que ça signifie? Son but doit être noble, et je ne suis pas ni de la comprendre. J'ai échoué, maintenant je suis recherché que j'offrir d'autres que ma récompense à ma vie.
This is where I make my stand.
Get ready. My money says our assassin's on the other side of that door.
So it is true. You're alive. You're truly alive.
Spoken like an assassin who's confident in his work.
Well, how could this be? I killed you. You deserve all of that. And more. Stay your weapon, please. Hear me. Let me speak for Paradise. Then you can decide if we part as friend or as foe. Envoy, I killed you because the people of Paradise have suffered under the boot of Adir. I wasn't sure. I knew I needed to do something. And when your face appeared to me in a dream, I believed I received a vision.
Your face was as clear in my mind as it appears to me now. You were standing under the sign of Ardir. Your feet became roots and reached deep into the soil, wrapping round Ardra in the darkness. Dreams, visions, they can be confusing things. I took the vision as a call to kill you in the hopes that I might stop Ardir from conquering this land. No. The gods spared you for a reason. And I have faith in the gods. I cannot imagine what the gods want for us, but you are at the center of it. The proof stands before me.
There's definitely something. It's written all over your face.
The only thing standing before us is a bunch of well-armed people. Let's take this slow. No sudden movements.
The gods aren't finished with you yet. You tell me, godlike. You have me cornered, but I will not hesitate to defend myself. Cowardice is not our way. My fate is in your hands. Do with it what you will. If you take nothing else from this, remember that the cruelty of the Steel Garrote has no end. The Deerans have bought most of the property in Paradise, pushed out many of the families. You installed yourselves at Fort Northreach to police trade and fishing with no authority. Ardir now controls the import of all foreign goods, forcing Paradisans to deal with your people to get them.
That may not be the whole story, but it's part of it.
Such dealings are regulated through Adiran contracts, contracts that are both deceptive and manipulative. When Paradisans dare to challenge these contracts, we're punished by the Steel Garrote. Whatever wrong I've committed against you, I will not apologize for striking back at Ardir.
Normally, I'd say if someone tries to kill you once, don't give them a chance to do it again. But I think he's actually come around to something. It's rare to see a real change of heart. Rarer still to have the opportunity to give someone a second chance.
On en revient encore à la seconde chance.
If you spare him, he'll just kill you again. I doubt you'll get a second chance. Not a huge fan of cold-blooded murder. We survive by removing threats, and this guy is a threat.
If you're guided by the hearts of your companions, then they too serve the gods.
Le fait de faire ses aveux au garrot d'acier, c'est une connerie. Ils vont se faire une joie de lui bouffer le cul. Je vais le laisser partir.
You mean it? You have no thirst for vengeance, no righteous desire for justice.
You really are full of surprises, Envoy.
You're really letting us go?
Ouais, entre nous, il n'y a jamais eu de discorde, alors pourquoi aggraver une nouvelle situation, ça, là. Connaître le sens de l'équité. En vrai, on est des putains de colons, quoi. Pas facile de faire des choix dans un contexte comme celui-ci. À part, justement, essayer de casser le cercle de la haine et de la vengeance. Mais dire qu'il n'y a jamais eu de discorde, c'est un peu faux, parce que je représente ce qui fait la discorde entre son clan et le mien. Juste au moins... les dieux, je m'en fous. J'ai pas envie d'être en mode... full croyant. Je suis plutôt un des deux, là. Okay.
I will. Though I doubt anyone will believe me.
Oui, bon.
Thank you, Envoy. If our paths are meant to cross again, let it be in peace.
Big mistake, Envoy. He killed you once. He'll do it again.
When a warrior acts with honor, we mark the occasion with a gift, and in my case, an apology. Please, accept both.
Free. The hair forgives. The tide ends on the placid shore. We learn. We twine.
You know, it's harder to keep you alive if you keep setting free all the people who want to kill you.
Relax, Marius. If he wanted the envoy dead, I doubt he'd send us away with presents. Impressive. I'm starting to see why your emperor trusts you.
Et un petit niveau de plus. Dans quoi je m'oriente? Je vais mettre un petit peu d'intel. J'aimerais bien apprendre les sorts parce que c'est vrai que ça a l'air pété, hein. Il semblerait que le niveau 20 soit le niveau max. J'espère pas parce qu'on gagne vraiment pas beaucoup de points. Ça voudrait dire qu'il faudra se spécialiser à fond, quoi. S'orienter vraiment que sur une seule voie.
Don't bother going back the way you came. Between the pillars to the right of the stairs. That's right. One more thing. Thanks. We were wrong about you.
How do we know
Adirans are true to their word, usually to a fault.
What about the Inquisitor? You really think she'll back down?
Oh, she's gonna kill us. Never doubt it. But we'll give her a chase she won't forget.
For what it's worth, I'm very sorry for the part I played in your untimely death.
Ok.
Hopefully you made an ally here today, envoy.
We'll definitely be seeing them again. You all but guaranteed that.
Unfortunately, I don't think your friends at the embassy will be happy about this.
I never really expect them to be happy about anything. I have some thoughts, envoy. Let's talk about it at camp.
Ouais, on va faire ça. On va aller au camp, on va discuter. Avant de retourner vers l'ambassade. L'ambassadeur.
You should keep an eye on that scrape on your arm. You don't want it to get infected.
It barely even counts. This is a scrape.
That's the worst kind of flesh wounds. Lots of open skin contact. Snap flies like the peeled skin. Fog mites love the blood.
I'm sure it's nothing to worry about.
I have some tanglewort in my pack. That should clear it right up.
Okay, if you insist.
You can thank me later. That's what I'm here for. It's not every day you get to deal with the person who killed you. And since you set them free, you get to deal with them again sometime in the future.
Tuer pour se venger, c'est pas ma façon de faire.
That's interesting. Good to know you're the forgiving sort. Anyway, it doesn't matter what I think. You found the assassin, and you're still alive, which means well done, Marius. Anyway. Right. What do you want to know? Lovely place, as the Living Lands goes. I advise most people to stay around here if they're looking. Paradise isn't the safest place in the world, but it is the safest place in the lands. Walls. Other than that, you got bits of forest, grasslands, some caves, cliffs, and all sorts of things. This is the easiest place to survive in the Living Lands.
Ouais.
Huh. Heard an envoy from Adir showed up and got himself killed. Honestly, I don't listen out for gossip much. Trees, rocks, water, dirt. A few zarps and bears, but enjoy it. It'll get... Word is the hunting in the Strangle Root has been a lot better since someone cleared out the diseased bear that lived out there. I never hunt out there, but a lot of people owe someone a word of thanks and a half a jug of Wodak. That was you. Gods, you should have led with that information. Actually, better keep it to yourself. You don't want thump-chested nimdudes coming after you like the ones who come after me. Oh, gods. Get out there and explore, Envoy. You'll be fine. I've been traveling with you. What could I have heard? You probably know most of this, but normally you look for some shelter first. Cut down a few small trees, gather nothing too elaborate. With so little tree cover, you want to keep moving. The reeds near the coast make great fibers for rope, so you can lash branches together and make a decent roof. Of course, we're always moving, so we just make a quick camp and carry on. So you don't have to worry about all that. I've been traveling with you. Oh, God. Right. Good talk. No offense, but you leave a pretty wide trail, Envoy. Well, maybe you should try to cover your trail more often. An Adiran official who's new in town turns a lot of heads, especially when they're traveling with a Nimdude like Kai.
Qu'est-ce qu'un Nimdu? Terme lumber désignant une personne idiote, sont utilisés de manière amicale entre collègues. Ah, ça va.
Well, we've worked together in the past. It was mostly him crashing blindly through the weeds after I advised him not to. We found your assassin. Maybe I can help you avoid being killed again in the future. My guess is you'll need a guide once you leave Paradise, too. They say I'm the best there is. Right. This ought to be interesting. Anyway, enough chat. I'm sure you... By the way, I never met that Orlan girl
Il a plus rien à dire. Et toi, Kai, qu'est-ce que t'as à dire?
Not everyone warrants an assassination attempt, you know. I'd say he can learn a thing or two from you. But I think you had him at a loss when you let him go. Me too, for that matter. Don't get me wrong, I'm impressed. Not many in your position would have let him walk away. Things aren't always that clear, especially when you're staring down a man who tried to send you back to the wheel. But I like your certainty. Why'd you do it? I can see why your Emperor relies on your resourcefulness. I'm afraid we haven't seen the last of this conflict, though. Eagwolf isn't the only hothead in the Living Lands, and he's certainly not the only one with his hackles up about all you Adira newcomers. And Ludwig and the Steel Garrote are only making matters worse. They're a match to a powder keg. Your ambassador and the rest of the Adiran forces have been dragging the frontier, all the things that half of us moved here to escape. Then, one day, Ludwig and the Steel Garrote show up to reinforce the Adiran presence, and they... Could be both. It remains to be seen whether Ambassador Hilgard and Ludwig are rowing in the same direction. But I fear there's trouble on the horizon, especially if the Steel Garrote's tactics win out.
Ouais, ça m'inquiète aussi.
Nice to know I'm in good company. Just thinking about Claviger Amon. let him down. But I did promise someone once that I'd do my part to look after all of us. My best chance of doing that is helping you investigate this plague and, hopefully, fend off any Feelings mutual. It's nice to share a campfire again. I think that's enough doom and gloom for one night, don't you? Sleep easy, Envoy. Rebellion's more like our natural state. People on the island don't much like being told what to do. In fact, many and the Stilgarrote. Ludwine and her paladins have been busy in the hinterlands. It's all rumor and speculation, but I don't think they're making your cause any friends.
Well, de quoi?
I don't like to gossip.
Since when?
Okay, I like fun gossip. They say she's hunting down so-called agitators, flattening entire settlements that stand in her way. Of course, all the news reaching Paradise is jumbled together. Stories about the Dream Scourge, the Stilgarrote, and the weird happenings that are almost commonplace around here. So it's hard to say what's true. I think you're right. I don't know that these rebels are all that organized yet. But where there's foam, there's rocks, as the saying goes. My favorite... I'm well past seconds myself, if we're counting. Even decent people make mistakes, and the rest of us can grow. With a little time. If I had to list them all, we'd be talking all night. Anyway, if this place can't give us misfits and screw-ups a second chance, what... You're asking me? Okay, who do you want to know? Long enough that he's got a good roster of stories about my blunders in the wilds, which he'll remind us of. He's got a soft heart under that gruff exterior. He feels things more. If he burns the stew one evening, maybe don't mention it. That's just how he shows affection. He's deeply loyal to people once he gets to know them, and he likes companionship more than he lets on. He just has a funny way. I think he left Gallowayne's tusks suddenly. And unfortunate, he's never spoken directly about it, but that's what I put together. And losing home, losing the people who gave you a sense of yourself. But don't tell him I told you that. Seriously. Yeah, given everything that comes with being an envoy, I bet that's suspicious. And don't worry if he starts badgering you. It's his way of showing he cares. Okay, but only if you let me turn that I think you've been trusted with a nearly impossible task. When we first met, I thought that was because you made some powerful enemies back home. But as I've gotten to know you, I think that if anyone can stop the Dream Scourge, it's you.
Oh.
What's more, you've got your head and your heart in the right place. You haven't let your duties or loyalties get in the way of being decent and reasonable. At the end of the day, I'm proud to fight alongside you. And there you have it. Your turn now.
J'aime bien
I've been
ça.
accused of only letting my stomach drive me, but thanks. That one means a lot. Sure. Sure. Good thing you're asking the ex. You know where to find me.
What are you grinning about?
Huh? I wasn't grinning.
Right. Well, stop it.
That's just how my face looks, Mark.
Allez, allons voir l'ambassadeur. Je pense que ce sera ma dernière action de la soirée. Le jeu est cool, mais j'ai encore du travail demain. Je geekerai plus à partir de dimanche soir, je pense. Parce qu'un gros week-end m'attend.
Tell me you brought good news. Oh, envoy. And you brought a friend. Ambassador Heelguard, at your service.
Always nice to meet an Adiran who isn't trying to goad me into a fight.
What of these rebels? The streets are full of rumors, but your word is the only one I trust. You what?
Oh boy.
Envoy, tell me this isn't true. When an Imperial envoy is killed in the streets, the motive is irrelevant. We needed to answer this challenge with blood. Don't you see what this will do to our credibility? Thanks to you, these rebels will continue to undermine our work in the Living Lands without resistance or fear. Worse still, now everyone knows our flank is exposed. Oh my gods, Ludwig is going to eat us alive. If you knew how she punishes failure, you wouldn't be so quick to dismiss her.
Moi je nique sa mère à elle s'il y a un problème.
All we can do is brace for the inevitable, though it may damn us in the end. Oh, yes, that. I'm sending you to Fior Messi Verno, a community of Valian expatriates deep in Emerald Stair. The Animancers may have some knowledge of the Dream Scourge already. Learn whatever you can from them. My sources tell me the Dream Scourge is a plague of the soul, and souls are their trade. If we have anything in common with Animancers, it's a shared interest in curing the Dream Scourge. Nor should you be. Animancers draw power from the spirit world. Their dark research can twist, break. The Empire has no tolerance for Animancers, and with good reason. Their work is dangerous. Animancers tinker on souls using clever inventions and ancient pillars of Ardra, siphoning essence like honey from a hive. They want to change reality as we know it, make us live longer, or cause barren lands. For all I know, they might be onto something. Or, with a single miscalculation. Well, You know what they say about the enemy of my enemy? Animancers may be an unpredictable sort, but they are scholars. Make no mistake, the Empire's at war with the Dream Scourge, and we need out. If you have any further questions before I dispatch you to Emerald Stair... Answers? Well, we need all the help we can get, even if it means appealing to... I believe that covers everything. Governor Vidaro will be your first point of contact. I'm told he's barely keeping the community in order. Seek ma... Good hunting, Envoy.
Ah, la voilà. La fameuse. Bon, si t'as un problème, il va falloir que tu me le dises en face. Inquisitrice de mes deux, là. Qu'est-ce qu'elle vient de me faire, là?
It's because you've disgraced the Empire. No, strangling light. Keep her away.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
Inquisitor Ludwig, so kind of you to join us.
While you brood over the Dream Scourge, this island is coming apart at the seams.
Stay your wrath. Allow me to present the Adiran envoy, dispatched by the Emperor himself, to aid us in our time of need.
As does yours. Let me deal with him, and I will get back to you shortly. I can't believe you troubled the Emperor to send an envoy. Haven't you done enough to flaunt your incompetence?
Under the circumstances, I thought it might be...
Silence. You busy yourself with the Dream Scourge. A mere fever and chills, leaving the real work to me. Even if that were to happen, the living will replace the dead. We will ship them in by the hundreds to fill the empty houses.
Oh, gods, Ludwig.
I have scoured this island and faced the truths from which you cower. The Living Lands is on the brink of total collapse, and you have ignored the discontent in your own city. Now, the Envoy's killer roams free, unpunished, spreading word of our ineptitude.
The blame is mine, and mine alone.
He's got more backbone than I would have thought.
We should be better than this. Leading by example. This island has seen nothing but us at our weakest. What say you? What these people want is irrelevant when we can give them what they need to survive.
If you're done eviscerating me, you'll be interested to learn I'm sending the envoy to the Animancers of Emerald Stair.
You are ridiculous. Emerald Stair is under assault by the very wilderness it claims to have conquered. The Animancers cling to pride and tradition even as they dig their own graves. Wielded in the wrong hands, it could also destroy everything we've built here. Clearly I've wasted my time with you, Ambassador. From now on, I will break the frontier on my own terms. You are free to disagree with my methods, but you cannot stop me. As for you, Envoy, farewell.
She is going to be a problem. Sometimes I wonder. Put her out of your mind. The Dream Scourge is more that since Liviana gave you a clean bill of health, you're officially cleared to leave for Emerald Stair. Fair warning, Animanters and Adirians don't mix well. Their kind can be a tad unhinged. Easier said than done these days.
They're a fun bunch. Crazy, but fun.
Wonderful. Now I have to keep a tight grip on my soul on top of everything else.
Should you cross paths with Ludwine, well, try not to. I have no idea what's gotten into her. Safe travels. I'm told Emerald Stair's beautiful this time of year.
We're done here. We can get to Emerald Stair in no time if we leave now.
Parfait. Oh, allez, c'est bien. Ouah. Ouais, voilà. On a avancé un peu sur la quête principale et on va passer sûrement au chapitre 2 à la prochaine session. C'est cool. Merci d'avoir regardé cette vidéo, spectateurs présents et futurs. Je vous dis à bientôt pour de nouvelles aventures. Bonne journée, bonne soirée à vous, bonne nuit, selon là où vous vous trouvez dans le temps. On se dit à bientôt pour de nouvelles aventures sur Avowed.